All right, so I literally just got back from dropping my daughter off at the school bus. The school bus, the bus stop. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm still trying to, this morning I was up early, waking up to that confusion attack again. So, anyways, feeling much, much lighter, brighter. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna jump right in because, I refuse to allow that type of energy to try to cause me fear, anxiety, mental confusion, doubt, right? Um, I just had a little talk with myself and my spiritual team, just like, this shit is really for the birds at this point. I mean, and even the birds don't deserve the type of just spiritual attacks or, um, just this darkness, this dark energy. And, it just got to a point where I was like, it don't even really, it don't phase me really anymore. Like, I feel it, I'll feel it for like a little bit, but like, goodbye, you know? I have so much bigger, important things to worry about in life. Like, again, I said, my main goal is just really being able to share, and talk about, these kinds of things. Like, this whole spiritual journey has all I've ever been obsessed with my entire life, and just, again, gaining more knowledge, gaining ways to, like, you know, just be better and protect myself, protect my energy, because, like I said, when I was, growing up, oh, sorry, my back is like, ugh. Growing up was not easy by any means, especially like when you're kind of in a family, like growing up in a family where who you completely are on the inside is totally different, right, than their views. And I'm not saying that there's, anything wrong with it, but it was like I didn't have any spiritual guidance, right? The only thing I had was myself and, the divine and different light beings and different, divine animals, like really the connections that, were being shown to me throughout my life in different parts of it. Um, you know, like I said, I don't know if this is, it could be someone's first time tuning in, but I tried to do some videos, like maybe like the first like couple, just talking about, because my spiritual team wanted me to come in and start with just like the type of gifts I have, because I asked like, what's the first thing that like, where are we going with this? But just different experiences throughout it, and one of the first ones that I had was, all this time I had no idea until like later into my adult life, but um, it was the elementals at first, like the fairy realm, um, had really shown themselves to me. Um, yes, it's very young, and I didn't know what all these lights were and what it was, and I don't know. And then like throughout my journey, different things started happening, and then like I said, so this is nothing new to me here, and having to be, you know, attacked and deal with very, very spiteful, hateful, jealous, envious people. And for a long time, it really did, because I didn't think like that, right? And that's where the being naive, right, can kind of really hinder somebody who is like an empath, a light worker, a star seed. Their soul is a little bit, different, right? So that really can trip you up because that it confused me while I was young for so long, because I was always so genuine and see, like, I didn't want to believe that there really was this like darker force, right? Like, to be honest, even when I went to Catholic school very young, like I briefly mentioned this in my video, I refused to acknowledge for a long time. It's not that didn't think, like, right, like Lucifer, Satan existed. Like, but here's the thing, I don't know why I was like this my whole life. I just tuned it out. There was something about it, and I guess maybe it was, I still don't really, but I had tuned out completely. Like, I didn't want to give it energy at all. I refused to even like just, because I guess even as a kid, like I always knew like how much more powerful, right? Like the universe is, the divine, like, just our souls, ourselves, how powerful our souls are, right? Like I just knew, and I didn't know why, and it didn't make sense, but I never gave it energy. And that was started when I was young. But then there came a point in my journey where it was like, this shit was hitting me right in my face. Like no, like, at one point it became very important for me to understand how the spiritual attacks were working. Again, I didn't want to really think that people use different forms or methods to really project like their like really, like I didn't really want to think that like, oh, this black magic or this type of negative sorcery or people really sitting there doing spell work on people, or like you really took the time out of your day to sit there with a group of other people and just like strategize, like, how are we gonna try to f this person's life up? What? Like, but like, yo, so like my spiritual team really did like uh, showed me ever since I was a kid. I would have different spiritual, and I'm talking like I would feel the presence while I was in my bed trying to sleep, feeling like something over me, and just there was one other time where because I'm also going in between, I swear to God, like different dimensions and things like that, or like or I'm, having like different time periods that I'm revisit. It's so weird, but anyways, so this one time, um, I had woke up, and I guess it was like being in between worlds. Like I can't even make this up. I was on my bed, and I had this entity, but I'm like seeing it and watching it at the same time and trying to defend myself. Like this, I can't make this up. And it was so strong. And I have wrote about this before, and I don't know if I even briefly mentioned it in one of my videos, but this was probably a year or two ago. Um, but it was so strong, and I was fighting for my life, like, and I don't know if it was trying to like take over me or like just attack me. I mean, I've woken up with scratches on my back, like 3 scratches. I've woken up with random bruises on my body that I can't explain. Like this stuff is very real, but at this point, the one I'm trying to talk about where I'm on my bed, I saw it's like it was just a dark, but I was fighting this back and forth, and like I said, like I'm watching this like as it's really happening, but then I'm like, but it's going on somewhere else, and then I woke up, and it was like so hard for me to jump back to like me getting back, I guess, out of the dream state. I think that's what it was. Like it was trying to fight me. And that's what, my spiritual team was, telling me too about, like guiding me to different things. And after that experience, I started really researching like what it, and it's just like crazy. Like, so it is sometimes dangerous, because sometimes the attacks of like darker entities will try to do it while you're in the dream state. And the reason why we have that natal cord, right? It's like I forget when you astral travel, there's like a cord, right? And it goes to your belly button. I want to say it's like a blue cord maybe or something, but there's some kind of cord. I want to say it's like a natal cord or something. But anyways, if you ever had a dream where like, they say like if you fall, you fall off a building, but you wake up right before you hit. Well, what it is too, that pullback that you get, right? There is a cord. So if you travel too far, that you don't get lost. So you get that sudden like whoa, like what, shoot right back in your body or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there is like, and if you've ever experienced that feeling, that's what it is. Like you went too far. But again, so sometimes the attacks can happen while you're, at night, or if you astral travel or whatever. A lot of that happens during those times because, you're more accessible, I guess. Um, you know, but obviously you're, divinely protected. But there are times when, because I even had to, ask my spiritual team, like, why didn't y'all jump in? At first, I swear to God, I remember being kind of like annoyed about it. I was like, yeah, you were just gonna let me get attacked? Like, what? It was literally like, you have to, that's the point though. I'm like you couldn't do me a solid and just, kind of step on in there. Like, no, sometimes unfortunately you gotta fight this fight alone. They're always there, they're always guiding you. Of course they're never gonna let anything crazy happen to you, but I think what they were showing me, or they allowed it to happen because it really it really showed me. I mean, I've had times too where, like, literally when I was younger, like the covers would like move. I would feel as if like someone was at the bottom of the bed. Like it's just weird stuff, man. And that's why it's like part of me like tunes certain like that things out. But again, it's all divinely guided, it's all divinely planned. Like certain points of your journey, you're supposed to know what you're meant to know. You know, because it's what you can handle at that time, or it's what you and your team kind of planned for, or whatever. So I just really thought that this was going to be important to kind of talk about, because especially with yesterday's energy, or what's to come. Because if I got a dose of what that was, and now I did clarify, because I do have a message to share. That certain archangels, like obviously I channel with Archangel Jophiel, Michael's here, I called in Raph, I called in all the archangels really, because that's how deep it got to for me. Like I needed to, whatever was being sent my way was just ridiculous, but we're all feeling it. So it's not just me that's getting these just bursts of like extreme confusion and heaviness, and again, the distractions, right, from it's just ridiculous. So I really wanted to see how they wanted to go about this, because I really thought it was important. A lot of people are very close to achieving certain milestones in their journey. A lot of people are going through it, and I don't know. So I just really thought it might be beneficial to kind of say a few things about those kinds of experience, the ones that you don't really want to talk about, because people look at you like you're crazy, but you're not crazy by any means. You're not crazy. It is happening, and it's one of those things that happens. It's been happening. um, but so, okay, let's just get to this message. I had channeled it, and bear with me, because honestly, like I said, when I channel, it's easier for me to use cursive. Obviously, it just flows easier with the energy. So the topic that they wanted to discuss was the power of connection. Double checked it, that was it. I was like, are we sure? Okay. And then it was really funny, because right as I got done, channeling this message, the rain came down as another confirmation, like just a big like burst of rain, and then it just stopped. So I was like, okay. So I hit record. I'm like, all right, double confirmation. Like this is definitely okay. All right. So the power of connection. It says, dear ones, we would like to discuss the importance of your connections at this time, for we see a lot of you are having extreme sufferings with your mental clarity at this time. Just know that this is not your energy. We are in the process of continual clearing and shifting of energetic interferences right now, that are currently happening on your planet. You will feel this in waves of extremity, Be mindful at this time of who you are choosing to engage yourself with. Not everyone is of the light you all have chosen to accept. There will be trials and tribulations for you to experience, but you will overcome them one by one. Take this time when you are feeling any mental confusion, panic, fear, heaviness, and lack of confidence to breathe, calming and quieting the mind/ego. Bring your highest self in and the divine to clear out all energy or projections of others' energy that is not yours and not of the light, and transmute. We love you all very much and are so proud of you all for all of your achievements thus far. Your dedication to your mission and your own soul growth has been a wondrous experience for us to watch, and we are always guiding you and listening to your prayers and requests, for they have been heard, my dear ones. Keep going and remember how truly loved and protected you are. And then they ended it like they wanted me, and I was like, really, like, with love. Now normally, like, my when I just channel with Archangel Jophiel, it's a little like it's different, like, but yes, they wanted to put the with love at the end. So I was like, all right, like, but yeah, so I thought that was really cool. It is so true. And it just, kind of confirms even more too. Like, we all know that's not our energy. Obviously, there is going to come a point in this journey, for the people that choose to continue forward with this, consciousness, rising of the, 5D or beyond, whatever, right? It's true. And unfortunately, that's why it's very important, like they said, power of connection, like who you're connecting with right now. Really truly relying as well on your highest self, because that's going to be important. You want to trust yourself, your intuition. And again, like I said, if you watched yesterday's video, it's like I really had to take a step away from it two times, because it was just that intense. And I was like, no, let me go clear my mind, go do something, distract myself, because, again, I didn't want to put out anything out there, any message or anything with that type of energy. And, it's usually the people who are that, this is another thing to be mindful, and I will say this. The people that are really amping up the most amount of fear in people, right? They're the ones you got to watch out for. Like, when you want to keep continually talking about, just trying, it's when you focus so much on the negative, right? In anything, in any situation in life, where is that going to get you? Like, okay, we know, like, yeah, I have family members that are narcissistic or treated me like shit and whatever. I have friends my whole life that really women especially, who just felt threatened for no reason, or who did some really hurtful things, for whatever their own insecurities were. Okay, we know that. I've been spiritually attacked, physically, like that. I have been through the ringer of this life, okay? And this isn't the first experience with it. So at this point, it's like I've just come to a point in this lifetime's journey where it's like enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm not going to give my energy and my attention and the power of my connection of my energy, right, to anyone who is of a lower vibration right now. I'm just not. Do you have fun, and it doesn't bother me. It's just like, you get to a point in it too, where you just laugh it off, like, okay, like, it's not going to stop anything over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all you're doing is making yourself look stupid, really. You know, it just comes to a point where you got to really weed out people, right? That, now think about this. If you, if someone's only bringing up things, right, instead of lifting and motivating and trying to get you strong enough to be confident in yourself, okay? Or are they continually just focusing on negative things, right? Worrying about somebody else, talking a bunch of ish, right? Like, those are the type of people I just don't, and I don't judge it, but I just don't have time for it. And I choose not to surround myself with people like that. You're always going to be a target. Like I said, it's like a moth to a flame. You are always going to be a target if you carry a very high light. And you're going to have very many people who try to knock you down, who try to make up lies about you, who create these stories, you know, that are just weird, you know. But hey, pray for them, you know. And it is true, like, not holding a grudge about it, because listen, we're all human too, where we have that ego and we have that darker side to us too, where, you know, you could say a lot back to that situation, right? But what's the point? Again, it's not even worth your energy. So I don't know, I just thought that was really important to share. And then with that message, you know, it was like, all right, cool. Because, you know, I'm very, like, I see what's going on around, I see what's going on around me at all times. Very, very observant. But again, sometimes you gotta play stupid, right? Let them think you're stupid. Let them think you don't know. Because you know what, really, people like that just want your attention. They're so desperate for attention sometimes that they'll go to the extremity, right, to get it. Because they want your energy. Like I said this in the, they want you to connect and engage back with them, right? So they can suck your energy, suck you dry, make you feel like, you know, like, I saw this one meme. It was a quote. It was like a little meme, right? It was like, people be like, yo, you got good energy. Let me go get my straw. Yo, when I saw that, I swear to God, I started dying. Because I just pictured someone, you know, with a straw sucking out, like, your soul, like, fun suckers. You know, joy thieves of joy. Like, that just had me, I was just laughing. Oh my God. All right, so let's get to a quick message. You know, because I really do, like, I know we're going to be getting this in waves. We really are. And that was in that message with, you know, Archangel Jophiel and the other archangels, that it's going to be, you know, just, you got to ride the wave though, right? Ride that wave. Don't let that energy sit too long, you know? When you feel it, just be like, you know what? It ain't mine. Return that. Transmute it. Don't seek it, you know? Don't waste your energy. That's really how it is. Growth at the bottom of the deck. Alright, so let's see. Here are two. For now, anyway. I feel like there's going to be more, though. Yeah, growth wanting to come out. Oh, yeah, look, and it is that same one from the other day. We're like, no, be that bird in that tree who, you see how there's, like, that blue color around him? Oh, shoot, too, that could be, didn't I just was talking about, like, the blue, I thought that natal corridor when you astral travel is blue, too. So, see, maybe even, you know, just being mindful, like, right before you, you know, go to bed, too. Like, I've never had to do this, or never really did, like, kind of ask for, you know, just, you know, to keep my dream state clear, right? That's another big one. So before you go to bed, especially with what's going on right now, this weird-ish, right? If you can just make a note to ask your spiritual team, like, you know, just do not allow anyone that's not of the light, like, interfering with my dreams. And, you know, when I've been waking up and I feel like that, I remute, what? Mute? I remute. Oh my God, you see me? I remove, maybe mute. Maybe they want you to put that shit on mute. Those people on mute. Like, nah, we don't hear you over here. We don't hear you over here. Bye. But I remove it immediately. I'm like, any lower vibrational entity or person that, I may have been in my dream state, like remove that energy, return it back, like no. And for some reason that's been going on for a couple of weeks, like not every day, but when you wake up and you just feel off. Do it on those days, but try to prevent it too, like at night. Try to just takes 2 seconds to say something or think something, right? And it happens. You can create it. So just protect yourself. We have growth, grief, memory. Let me see. Yeah, they're really trying to attack your sacral chakra right now as well. Look at it with the grief. The orange, there's a circle and he's in the orange, and then it's blue too. So your creativity, you speaking your authentic truth. That's what's trying to be blocked right now. That's another one. Wanting you to feel like you're not good enough in whatever aspect. Work, career, relationship, just life. You being you. They want you to feel like you're not good enough. It's kind of weird, right? Yeah, and with this memory card here too, they're kind of pointing out this red and gray, kind of how, if you see how like some of these other people just look like shadows, like ghosts, just like dead, right? So it's almost like, and if you notice too, the gray is behind her walking, right? So again, getting out of that, it's not you. It's something that's trying to project itself onto you, or, just dealing with the ego, trying to get through, trying to break through your mind to try to cause confusion. So again, confirmation with that one. Community. Yeah, because look, if you look at it again with a community card, you see how up here it's like dead, right? I had got this card before. It's like, this is how it's been, right? This is how it's been. This planet has been this way, and we're supposed to conform to whatever, we were told by society, or, deal with these just people who just are really, I don't want to say dead inside, but like just a very low vibe, right? Just very toxic people. It's facts, like toxic people, right? Well, guess what's trying to come to life? New roots, new rules, people rising up, orange, being so grounded into, knowing who they really are, feeling stable, secure, confident, creative, right? Being you, and that new energy of the earth wants to come up. It has to. It is already happening. There is no stopping it. So that's why there is no point to live in fear anymore. I think everyone is well, educated on their own journeys, and what you've been through thus far with life, right? With your own life and how much you've had to go through. And everyone's just tired of the way that it's been. Yeah, again, with the sacred space. Isolation and perspective. Risk. This warning. Oh my God. And they're wanting to give you insight. This is exactly what they're talking about. These people, which is why, the Archangel said the, importance of who you're connecting with right now. There's the warning, taking the risk. Because what they're trying to do is isolate and change your perspective and make you feel like that grief. They're trying to kill your creativeness. They're trying to kill your authenticity and speaking out about it, or just being you, or simply just shining your damn light on the world to people, or being a positive, joyful person. Again, like the straw, suck the fun right out of you, suck the joy right out of you, right? Yeah. Battle exposed, but you have luck. I don't even know if it's luck. Because you're gaining insight on this. And I'm telling you again with yesterday's message, there is a heavy emphasis on someone trying to use, emotional, what's the word? A form of emotion to reach out to really trip you up here, making you think that they've changed, There is a good song that I really like, and let me grab my phone real quick because I was listening to this on my way home. I think it's called Play With Me, right? But I forget who it's by. Hold on, it's right over here. But yeah, whether male or female, right, doesn't really matter here. Let me find it. Where was it? But it's a good song to listen to because it kind of went with, so it's called Play With Me by Bailey Bryan. Bailey, and then Bryan. So Play With Me. If you listen to it, it's kind of funny because it's like, talking about the waves and, oh, you want to ride the wave with me. You play yourself when you play with me. Just listen to it because, there's this one part in there where I was like, oh, that's connected with yesterday's reading about that, like trying to use some sort of emulsions. I don't know, if you have time, check that song out. If I can try to figure out, I wonder if I can link it to the video. I'm very not tech savvy over here. I literally am just using my camera on my phone, so I don't edit. I don't have a program to do that. I'm very I think it'd be cool one day to be able to do something. Like, I have these ideas that would be cool, but I honestly, to me right now, it was more important just to be honest, to be authentically me. I don't really care, anymore. So, but I'll try before I, upload to see if I can kind of maybe share it. Maybe I could put it in. Oh, I think I probably can copy and paste it into the description box. Probably that might work, right? I don't know. Anyways, I'll figure it out. But okay, so that's that. Now let's just get on to a more positive note here. Because again, what's the point in talking about the just keeping yourself in the fear mentality or the drama? The drama, that's a better word. Why would you want to stay in the drama, right? I don't want no parts of that. Okay? At all. Honor your feelings. Embrace the flow of life. Actually, so my alarm just went. I have this random alarm for, I don't know why it still stayed on, for 9:45, and it plays a song. I kind of just like it now. And the song that I just had to slide it off was Uh-Oh by Tate McRae. Hold on, let's see. I'm going to play it while I shuffle. All right, so yeah, how fitting was that too? I love it. That's why music is key, man. Like I'm telling you, if you, music is like just, there are messages and codes all among us in songs, and it has helped me through my journey. Music has been a part of my life, period. And I have found answers that way. I have found things that, like, meanings that, like, you know what, I'm telling you, a lot of music is key to figuring out this, you know, just life, a lot of life. If you really listen to lyrics of certain songs that you'll come along the way, you're just like, yo, they get it. Like, they get it. This is happening. We're all experiencing it. So, I don't know. It's just, I love it. It's helped me out. It's gotten me through everything. All right, we'll do 2 of these. Okay, so we have Go For It. Your prayers and positive expectations have been heard and answered. Yo, confirmation. I love Archangel Joviel. All right, it says, we've been working with you on this situation since its genesis, and we continue to watch over you and everyone involved. Stay on your present path, as it will take you very far indeed. Exactly. Boom. Exactly. Don't worry about the drama. Don't worry about the people talking ish. Don't engage yourself with that type of behavior. For what? All right, so reward yourself. You've been giving a lot of yourself lately, and it's time for you to receive. Make the time to reward yourself in a meaningful way. This balance of giving and receiving is essential to keeping your energy, mood, and motivation at a consistently high level. I love it. So yeah, do not, again, have fun, play, laugh it off, dude. Laugh it off. Who cares? Trustworthy guidance. You've received a wonderful idea as an answer to your prayers. This idea is real and trustworthy. You can safely move forward with it. Knowing that we are here with you every step of the way, ask for and be open to receiving our support for anything that you need related to this idea. Exactly, you know, and again, like, whatever you want to do with your life, wherever you want to go, whatever you think is your next step in your journey, listen to it. Trust the guidance you're getting to make your moves, to just trust the guidance you're getting with people, or the energy that you feel when you are around them, you know. And again, with what you read, what you watch on TV, what you hear, what you listen to, it's all influence. Now, it can be good or it can be bad, but you have to be your own judgment of, you know, what that is. How do you feel? Don't listen to anybody else. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm at 38. Cool. Okay. Healing. Exactly. You're gonna get through this. You know, it's again, it's gonna come in waves, and it is what it is. But guess what? It ain't stopping your blessings. Good luck with that. Not today, Satan. Meditate. Yes. Make sure you're staying up on your, you know, clearing out energetically, man. It is important. Grounding too. Surrender and release. Again, you know, this is something I had to really sit back to. I'm like, you know what? Is there any still thing in me? Like, you know, maybe you think you don't like, you know, certain people, but grudges, or just releasing it. Release it all. Let go of a grudge you may not even think you have. That's why maybe they want you to kind of just let it go, give it to them, trust and believe that they will take care of it. You stay on your mission. You stay on your own journey, keeping positive. Don't engage in activity. Don't give anyone your energy. That is not worth it at this point, because you are emerging. You are. You know? Keep the balance. It's like Kendrick Lamar said in that Rich Spirit song. He's like, I'm trying to keep the balance. I'm staying strong. Stop playing with me before I turn you to a song. Hey. So that's a good one too. I love it. It's just that one gets me like, he gets it. He gets it too. He's another artist that really gets it. All right. So let's see what else we got. We got these ones. These. All right. And then, did I do? No, I don't think I did. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, well, here we go. No. Your hard work is paying off. Definitely is, man. Definitely is. Prosperity lies ahead. Nobody can take what is for you. Have faith in your dreams. Personal issues. Issues. Yeah, it's like a bad itch that just won't go away. Like, just go away. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Oh my God. I think, and you know what? Oh my God. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense why play has been coming out so much, because I'm just like, they were real heavy on this child playing, having fun, blah, blah, blah. Now I know why. Because that wave that just came in of some BS was like, ugh, you know? So they want you to have fun, laugh it off, you know? And don't let pride get in the way. Very true. Like I said, if you know, because it is true. Like, we all know we could sit here and, you know, have a lot to say back to somebody too, but again, what's the point? Nah, pride's not going to stop me. I don't care enough to even get in a prideful energy. Do you, boo? You know what I mean? Do you? Emotions are running high, and a personal issue reaches resolution. The end of a tough cycle approaches. And last for this, balance, spirituality, and practicality. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Because nothing will come from this situation. All that mess, nah. All right, and I'm going to end it with one of these like I usually do, since we are at 4144. 444A. All right, dearest you, we need you to know that you can change things miraculously for you and everyone and make things right. It's never too late. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the burden of an old story, one in which you were a victim of someone else's actions or your own. You don't need to carry this around. You can set yourself free. Even advocating for good because of this experience requires your forgiveness to be effective. Again, forgive them. They don't know no better. And if they do, then let the divine take care of it. You know, your time, your energy, you being you is way more important, and the things that you're going to do in this life are so much more important than dealing with it. So really, it is true. Forgive. You don't have to forget, you know, just, you know, it's in the back of your mind, all right, well, this person is definitely not for me. And that's okay. Forgive, let go, let the divine, right? Forgiveness is never about condoning things that were done. It's about letting yourself off the hook from carrying the burden, right? Resentment and hurt are like viruses that spread to others. And that is the opposite of what you really desire, right? Imagine what your life would be like without the burdens that you carry when you do not forgive. Yeah. Forgive. It's like a virus. It really is. It's like a parasite that just, no. It is not important. You're still going to continue to get your blessings. You're still going to continue on your journey forward. You are heavily protected. Know that, trust that, and, you know, you got this. And hopefully, you know, you have another great day today, and, you know, just keep going. So yeah, I think I'm going to end that here.